grown man business. And listen, you can tap in and you can tap out, but you know my slogan. You know what I suggest, and I suggest you tap in. So let's get right into it. Now, yeah, man. Listen, man. Salute to all my day one investors. Salute to everybody that's tapped into the channel. You know, I know it's been a while since I went live, ripping and running. You know, handling this grown man business. I mean, it is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be at all times. You already know this. Now, listen, man. First and foremost, you know, I want to get right into the situation. I want to get right into this. You already see the title. Sure, you see the thumbnail. Let's chop game now. You know, Hassan Campbell. We all seen Haas. You know, a lot of people thought Hassan lost his channel. Um, a lot of people was happy at the thought. What it do? What it do? Uh, a lot of people was happy at the thought of Hassan Campbell losing his channel. You feel me? If you notice, I didn't I didn't do any videos about that. I didn't respond. I had a lot of people in the DMs saying Big G and BTV the Oracle, and don't you forget the TV, and you better always remember the Oracle. You know, what are your perspective? What do you think about the whole situation with Hassan Campbell? And I kept quiet. I didn't say a word. And it was a reason for that, because being a content creator, having a YouTube channel with over 10,000 subscribers, I automatically know that you can put your channel on do not disturb. You know, it's ways to silence your own channel if things are getting a little hectic, if you're getting too many strikes, if you got people reporting your channel. You know, you can definitely um put your channel on do not disturb. So I sat back. You feel what I'm saying? Salute, salute. I sat back, and I just wanted to see how the situation played out. And I get up today. I'm on the road. I'm headed back from California, headed back to the East Coast, and I see that Hassan dropped a live today. Now, you already know it get deep, it get wicked, and it's always deep in the rap. When you scratching the surface, and here at Grown Man Business TV, we are definitely scratching the surface. So I got an earful, you feel what I'm saying? And I got an eye full of that live that Hassan Campbell did, and I got to tap in. Now, let's get right into the situation. Let's get right into these angles. Let's not waste any time. You know, Hassan Campbell is a target right now. Hassan Campbell is a target right now, and I'm hoping that he knows just how much of a target he is right now, and he's not playing with the situation. Hassan Campbell has been making speaking about Africa Bambaataa, speaking about the Zulu Nation for a long time, for some years now. And one thing for sure, two things for certain, what you got to understand is this year, 2023, is the 50th. It's the 50-year anniversary, the 50-year anniversary of hip hop, of the culture, of rap music, of everything that we've built when it comes to this culture, this little thing of ours. It's the 50th year anniversary. 50 long years hip hop has been running this country, running the culture global, been international. You understand me? And you know, when you look at it on the surface, you just say, hey, it's the 50th year, it's the 50-year anniversary of hip hop. Congratulations. But here at Grown Man Business TV, we are always scratching the surface. We always going deeper than the surface. And when you go deeper, when you scratch the surface, what you'll understand is who's in control of hip hop, who runs hip hop. You understand me? I know they got us as the face. You got a Jay-Z, you got a Puff Daddy, you got all of these, black faces, and these black puppets that are put in front of you. But I'm asking you, who runs hip hop? The high erupts and the elites. The high erupts and the elites run hip hop. And you got to understand, anytime in any situation, in any opportunity to make a bag off of hip hop, they're going to take it. They're going to take that opportunity, and they're not going to let anybody step in the way of that bag. Now, let me apply that to Hassan Campbell. You got Hassan Campbell accusing Africa Bambaataa of the most heinous, inhumane acts you could think of when it comes to children or anybody. And he's been accusing Africa Bambaataa of this for years now. And I'm gonna tell you something. Africa Bambaataa is not just a rapper. He's not just an artist. But Africa Bambaataa is actually a pillared in hip hop. He is one of the founding fathers of hip hop. He is one of the creators of this culture. You understand me? So one thing for sure, two things for certain, what you got to understand is, and I hope what Hassan understands is, you can't have a hip hop museum without Africa Bambaataa. Oh, I'm gonna dig deep into these angles, man. Just ride with me. We just scratching the surface right now. I'm gonna get deep into these angles. But you cannot have a hip hop museum without Africa Bambaataa at the forefront, huh? Africa Bambaataa, you know, to have a hip hop museum and not have an Africa Bambaataa is an oxymoron. It doesn't match up. It would never happen. So no matter how much Hassan cries and kicks and screams, when it comes to this hip hop museum, Africa Bambaataa and the Zulu Nation will be spearheading the situation. They will be spearheading the situation. There will be, you know, statues and portraits of these guys all and throughout the hip hop museum. Now, when it comes to the higher ups and the elites, again, like I said, they're never going to miss an opportunity to make a bag off of hip hop. They're never going to miss an opportunity to make a bag off of the culture that they invested in, that they helped grow. Because the higher ups and the elites, they saw something in hip hop. They saw something in those young black dudes from the ghetto with a talent, and they invested. Maybe bad deals, maybe they took all their publishing, but they invested upfront seed money. That's what it's called. It's called seed money. You understand me? And now that hip hop is 50 years old, they're going to monetize and they're going to capitalize off the situation to the 10th power. I mean, to the utmost. So, you know, you got Hassan Campbell, and we're going to, again, like I said, we're going to dig into these angles. You know what I'm saying? We're going to take our time with this one. You got Hassan Campbell complaining about, you know, the Zulu Nation getting 18 or 20 million dollars in funding for this museum. You got him complaining about, you know, the people that's going to be running the museum, because he's talking about things that he went through as a child, and we understand that. I understand that. But one thing for sure, two things for certain, what you got to understand is, if they put 20 million into that museum, what do you think the return in investment is going to be? Huh? Huh? The ROI is something called a ROI, my G's. And that stands for, and that's the abbreviation for return on investment. So they got $20 million. Hassan said they got another $5 million recently. That's $25 million. Let me tell you something. The Hip Hop Museum is set to make $500 million the first year open. The first 12 months of the Hip Hop Museum officially being open, you know, the ribbon being cut with the scissors and all that, and open to the public, is estimated to make over $500 million. So the higher ups and the elites, they're going to invest $25 million. They're going to invest that because the return on investment is about $500 million the first year. And you know, it gets deep, it gets wicked, and it's always deeper than rap, because once they announced these situations and these things came to the light, and you know, Fat Joe said what he had to say, Hassan said his channel got demonetized immediately. That's because this is chess. This is not checkers. This is chess being played, Haas. You so worried about the money, you don't see the play being ran on you right in front of your face, Haas. They running the play on you. Because like I said, they invested 25 million, and the hip hop museum is going to attract people from all over the world. You got to understand something. The Bronx is the birthplace of hip hop. Even if the founding fathers was homo thugs, even if the founding fathers was Rainbow Coalition, the Bronx, New York is the birthplace of hip hop. It's going to be people from all over the globe making their way to the Bronx, New York, to see and to touch and to feel. You understand me? The origin of hip hop, the origin of this culture. Hip hop, breakdancing has entered the Olympics. This is not a Bronx, New York thing anymore. This is an international, a global event now. You understand me? So for you to think that you're gonna go do your lives and you're gonna keep on disrespecting one of the founding fathers of hip hop without proving him wrong in the court of law, you're gonna get stepped on. I was watching Haas live and he was saying, if there's no more super chat, hit my cash app and fund this war. There's not enough subscribers, Hassan Campbell, to fund this war. There's not enough subscribers. There's not enough people on YouTube to help you support and to fund the war that you've got yourself into with the higher ups and the elites. All right. So that's my first angle right there, is that you can't have a hip hop museum without having an Afica Bambaataa. Now, hey, you said he did what he did. Hey, is what it is. And I'm going to get into that. You understand me? There's no more sympathy for what you did, what you say he did. If he did what he did, then you handle your business. You don't ask to be a part of the museum that he's being, represented in, that he's being celebrated in. I heard Hassan say on his live, why not give the victims a piece of the museum? Why not let the victims of, so you think that they should let the victims of Afica Bambaataa run the hip hop museum that they're celebrating Afica Bambaataa in? Nah, it don't work like that. It don't work like that. And I said this a long time ago. If a man does that to you, if a man violates your personal space in that manner, by thiging you or whatever that is, you might not be able to do nothing as a child, but as a grown man, you're supposed to stand on grown man business. And I don't know, what that means to you, but to me, as soon as I would have got close to Afica Bambaataa, that would have been the big payback right there. There would be no, it would be a memorial. It would be a memorial at the Hip Hop Museum for Afica Bambaataa if I was Haas. But Haas thinks coming to the internet, Haas thinks asking the people and the subscribers to support the war is more important. Haas thinks asking for a position at the museum that's celebrating the man that died him is more important. So it is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. But like I said, the return in investment, $25 million, that's how much they put into this hip hop museum. It's estimated to make over $500 million in the first 12 months, Haas. See, when a lot of these YouTubers get on their channels and they get to talking, they ain't breaking down the ROI to you. They're not talking about like that. They're not giving it to you like that because they don't think like that. Everything is built off emotion with these guys. But this is grown man business TV. And a grown man, no, you don't move off emotions. That's a female trait. You let women move and think off their emotions. We think off logic. What's the logical explanation for this? What's logical in this situation? And then we move forward. And if you was thinking logical, you would understand what's going on right in front of your face. This is the big introduction of gentrification of the Bronx. They're about to come back, buy up all those project buildings, all those abandoned buildings. They're about to come back into the Bronx like they did Harlem. You understand me? Like they did Brooklyn. And they're about to gentrify that situation for you guys. They're about to clean the Bronx up. They're sweeping up all the drill rappers. They're about to handle y'all because once this museum is put in place, it's going to generate so much money for the people that own and run hip hop. That anybody that they feel is a threat, anybody that they feel can step in the way of that, anybody that they feel can, mess with the numbers, they're gonna get rid of you. And I mean, if that means putting you in jail, if that means, tampering with your resources, you getting a lot of money on YouTube, and you let everybody know, Haas, like you getting a lot of money on YouTube. They're gonna put a wrench on that. They're gonna put a clamp. They're gonna put a clamp on that. They're gonna put a they're gonna put a clamp on that, Haas. You understand me? That's how they do. They either gonna throw you in jail, they're gonna mess with your money, or they're gonna smear your name. Now, let's go a little deeper into this situation, man. One thing for sure, two things for certain. All of these platforms are in bed with the higher ups and the elites. So let's dig into this. You got Haas. He's accusing Africa Bambaataa of thiging him. He's accusing African Bambaataa and the Zulu nation of taking advantage of children. But what Haas don't understand, and I guess what a lot of people is not understanding, and I'm gonna do a pre-recording video where I'm gonna give y'all the clips, and I'm gonna condense and consolidate all this information into a couple minutes like I normally do. But right now, I just wanted to give y'all the business on this live stream. Patreon, YouTube, Rumble. All of these platforms are ran and are controlled by the higher ups and the elites. So what happens is you got, us, our people. We get on these platforms, we start making some money. Instead of understanding what's really going on, you get big-headed, you get full of yourself. And you start bragging and you start saying, hey, man, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, X, Y, and Z. Not understanding that you don't own this platform. You're not in control of this platform. You are abiding by the rules of this platform. And anytime you get out of line, they can handle you how they want to handle you. You feel me? But even deeper than that, the higher ups and the elites, they rub shoulders with a Epstein. So when you got high saying, oh, it's like Epstein's Island and this, that, yeah, they know that already. That's their forte. Haas, you didn't know that? That's what they like. They like little kids, Haas. The higher ups and the elites, the very people that run these platforms that you run to that make your money, they was over on Epstein's Island doing their thing with those babies. The very platforms that you run to make your money, Haas, they love babies. They do rituals. They don't mind the top guys playing with children. How you think Africa Bambaataa learned what he know and started to do the things he do? Because to get into this industry, to get money out this industry, to become prominent and become a major figure in this industry, you got to do something with those babies. Now you might have to do something with some young babies. You might have to do something with a young adult, a minor. Aaliyah. You was talking about Aaliyah. So if they was doing all of that to Aaliyah, why you think they care what Bambaataa did to you, Haas? Why you think they care what Bambaataa did to you if they've been doing this to Aaliyah and they've been doing it to all the other kids around the neighborhood? Yeah, but we don't do this. The things I say, bro, they won't let into the algorithm. A lot of people come back and watch these lives after I'm done. As I'm speaking this truth, they don't, I don't get thrown into the algorithm like a lot of these YouTubers. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. You feel what I'm saying? So yeah, if it's 5 people in the live, I'm gonna give up this game. If it's 100 people, I done had 1,000 people in the live before. Don't trip. I done had 1,000 people in the live before. I done had 20 people in the live before. Salute to you, cause you in the live. But why do you think that coming to YouTube and saying this and saying that is going to do anything. First and foremost, the higher ups and elites know what Africa Bambaataa was doing to y'all. If allegedly, they all know. Like all the guys in the Bronx said they knew. When I did my research, all the old rappers and the old guys in the Bronx, they said that they knew that the Zulu Nation was a bunch of fruitcakes. They knew that already. And when I look at some of those videos, you can go look at some of the videos I recently did, look at the pictures of the Zulu Nation men. They all look fruity. So you're not exposing something. You're not exposing anything that the higher ups and the elites don't know. Now, they let you talk for years about Bambaataa. They let you build a whole YouTube channel and get famous, basically get famous off of telling people that you got touched by one of the head creators of hip hop. You got famous off of that, off of telling people that you got touched by one of the creators of hip hop. But now that this museum is on the way, you're going to pick a side. You're going to either pick a side, Haas, because what they're going to do is they're going to watch you a little longer. They're going to see how much you talk. They're going to see if your words are affecting the bottom line, the ROI, the return in investment. And if you are affecting the ROI, if you are affecting the bottom line of this hip hop museum with your rhetoric, yeah, all those things you asked for will come true. You better believe that. All those things you asked for will come true. The one thing that you need to know, one thing for sure, two things for certain. They don't care about nothing but money. Haas. They don't care if a Jay-Z was dating a Aaliyah when she was underage. They don't care for real. They don't care if R. Kelly was dating a Aaliyah or having games with little girls. What they do care about is securing R. Kelly's masters and securing all of his catalog. Giving his catalog to their children to eat off for the rest of their life. They care about the dollar. They care about money, Haas. You're crying about the industry, and the industry, this is what they do. This is how they get, bro. They all get down like this. You shouldn't have never let Bambaataa put you on Tribe Called Quest's album cover. That was your initiation right there. That was your okay. That was you saying, I am with this. I am down with this. Haas, that was you walking through the door. Listen, man, one thing for sure, two things for certain. I've never been one of the ones that they throw into the algorithm unless, I really go bonkers. And I go bonkers anytime and every time I'm speaking. But I like to play this YouTube game different than these guys. I play this YouTube game different than these guys. I never came into this YouTube game to get rich. I've been getting money. I never came into this YouTube game to buy a house. I've been had the big house. If you are tuned with this channel, you already know how I'm living. $100,000, $130,000 pool I just put in my backyard. So I don't look at the YouTube for the numbers. Everybody likes to come on YouTube and everybody likes to do numbers on YouTube, but I'm not Haas. You understand me? So that was just a whole nother angle. Haas, this game, these platforms are all in bed with each other. The owners of these platforms, all of these billionaires and millionaires are in bed with each other. Who are you crying to? Nobody's listening to you. And I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to say this one more time. As soon as you start affecting the bottom line when it comes to this hip hop museum, as soon as you start affecting the return in investment, they're going to wipe you out, homie. They're going to wipe you out. I said this a long time ago. If you feel that type of way about Africa Bambaataa, you got to take action into your own hands. Nobody's going to help you. You said you made $1 million off of YouTube. Get yourself a lawyer and then go handle your business. Until then, we don't believe you. You need more people, my G. They are not going to give you a job at the hip hop museum. They are not going to give you a job there. They are not going to let you get in. Haas, I was looking at the live, and it got to the point where you could tell that Haas was upset about the money they was getting. He's upset about that 20 million. They done demonetized his channel. They done demonetized both his channels. And now he's scraping and scrambling and figuring out how he's going to make up that money. Because I told you, what YouTube will do is they're going to build you up. They're going to let you touch that paper. They're going to let you get dependent on that paper. And then they're going to take it from right up under your feet. And they're going to watch you squirm and swivel. And they're going to watch you try to find a way. Now you running the Patreon. Patreon ain't the same, my G. It ain't like it used to be. You're not just going to be able to say everything and anything you want to say on Patreon. They'll check you over there too. See? They build you up, they crash you out. And that's what we are watching right now. They demonetize Haas's channel. What do you have to offer now? See, Charleston White, he went to comedy. When they demonetized Charleston White's channel, he went to being a comedian. What are you going to bring to the table now, Haas? What are you going to bring? What are your talents? What can you provide for the income that's worth $50,000 a month, $60,000 a month, $80,000 a month, 17? You was getting checks like that. Yeah, they showed you who's in charge. Now, like I said, man, it gets deep, it gets wicked, and it's always deep in the rap when you scratching the surface, man. And here at Grown Man Business TV, we're definitely going to scratch the surface at all times. And this 50th anniversary of hip hop is a big deal. There's nowhere on the earth, there's nowhere on the globe that you can find, except for like maybe, it's a very small percentage of the globe that has not been touched by hip hop, that has not been touched and influenced in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Eminem, Snoop Dogg, 50 Cent, all of these type of guys have transcended around the globe with this hip hop thing, right? So when they open an actual museum, you got to look at the big picture. You got to be able to see through the smoke and mirrors. You looking at it as a museum. I understand what's about to happen when they open an actual hip hop museum where any and everybody from all over the world, you know how many people got, listen, let me tell you something. You know how many people from China are going to come to the Bronx, New York, because they want to see Afica Bambaataa's outfits. They want to see all of the history and the origin of this thing of ours called hip hop. You know how many people that are going to come from England, London, Germany, Australia, Japan, everywhere, so that they can see Afica Bambaataa's whole outfit, so that they can see, LL Cool J's rope chains, so they can see Slick Rick's whole wardrobe and his eye patch, so they can touch it, so they can see it. It's an actual hip hop museum, my boy. This is bigger than you and whatever you had going on with Afica Bambaataa. Oh, it's so much bigger. They're not going to put Afica and Bambaataa in jail. They're going to let the Zulu Nation run this hip hop museum. These people will come from all over the globe to talk and chill and have conferences with Bambaataa. You had your chance to handle your business like a grown man, and you traded it for monetary gain. Instead of doing your thing when you was around Afica Bambaataa and handling your business, you traded it in for a YouTube channel. This is why my platform is not thrown into the algorithm. They know anytime I go live, they know anytime I'm talking, I'm gonna give y'all that game. Something else they know about me is that it doesn't matter, that I don't care. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. A lot of the times when you see me go live, I'm getting paid right now. I'm on live and I'm getting paid talking to y'all. I don't need YouTube to pay me. Even though I do get a YouTube check every month. The channel is monetized. Salute, man. Salute to all 24 y'all in the building. Um, I just, like I said, man, I'm coming from the West Coast. Hold on. Yeah, it don't affect my bottom line, man. It don't affect my pockets. The YouTube check that come in every month is a beautiful check. I ain't gonna lie. You know, I wouldn't be. I think I got like 380 videos on YouTube. I go live. I wouldn't put any. I wouldn't put that much effort into YouTube if it wasn't a return in investment. I invest my time and my energy into this channel, and every 22nd and 23rd, a check comes through the mail. I mean, the check is deposited into my account. My bad. Yeah, straight to my savings account. So that's the same thing I preach to all the investors. You know what I'm saying? I always say big salute to all my day one investors. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that's invested in the channel. That's why I don't call y'all subscribers, or I don't call y'all fans. I don't talk like that. I feel like anybody that's watching the channel, anybody that's, you know, comes back and doubles back and watches the videos, they are investing your time and energy. And currency is not the highest form. Money is not the highest form of currency. It's time and it's energy. So if you're watching this right now, if you come back and you watch it later, you know, um, that's the return on investment as well. The time and the energy that people put into the channel. But this hip hop museum is it's a catastrophic event. It's huge, my G. It's so much. It's really out of and when the higher ups and elites make moves, that's what they're looking at. The higher ups and the elites will make a move, right? That to the naked eye, to the average person, just looks like a museum. But the higher ups and elites then already calculated how big hip hop is, how monumental the 50th anniversary. It's just like having a 50th birthday. It's monumental. When you turn 50, everybody celebrates you. It's a big deal. They've already calculated how many people are engaged in this culture. The percentage of people that consume it is, 85% white people consume the hip hop. They buy the hip hop. They spend the money on hip hop. Then you got the other 15% of people that like to watch and listen from all over the world. If we can make the Bronx the birthplace of hip hop, if we could build an epicenter right there in the Bronx, imagine how many people from all over the world every year are going to come and pay $150 to come into this museum every year. Now, when it's when you see the big picture, then you understand why they'll get you knocked off. Why you'll have a Hassan Campbell, or you'll have a Malcolm X, or any of these guys that talk. Why you'll see them get assassinated. Boom, right there. Nipsey Hussle. And I'm not putting Haas in the same category as these guys, but when it comes to the things that he's saying about a particular person and a particular culture, and something that the higher ups and elites have invested their hard-earned money into, and the things that you're saying will affect their return in investment. Oh yeah, it was the same thing with Nipsey Hussle. Nipsey Hussle was saying, listen, get your hands on these opportunity zones. Don't sell your property. When they come and try to, gentrify, keep your property, hold out. Feel me? We're going to buy up the block. We're going to buy the neighborhood back. That was going against the higher ups and the elites, and gentrification, and building the train, and making billions of dollars in the next 10 years. They look 10 years ahead. They say in the next 10 years, when we put this train here, we're going to make about $2 or $3 billion. Anybody stepping in front of that, they're going to mark you out. Anybody that's playing with that, anybody that thinks bro, you're not big enough. I don't care how many I don't care if you got 500,000 subscribers. If they can't invest enough money for you to get around what they going to do if you keep playing with these people. Now you ready to get smoked behind talking on YouTube and playing with the higher ups and elites? You should have been ready to go to jail for smoking Bambaataa for what he did to your thighs. I would have took that time. I would have got a lawyer, and and I would have said, yo, I blacked out. I'm traumatized. And they would have said, man, he did that out of a passion. He did that. He was mentally disabled. And I'll go down. I'll sit down for a couple years before I let an Africa Bambaataa take pictures with me after you say he did what he did. Nah, I couldn't live. I couldn't live with that. But again, you got these guys talking about these doors, and it's so many different ways for them to get you initiated. So like I said, when Africa Bambaataa took Hassan Campbell and let him take a picture with Q-Tip, and they put you on the back of the album cover, and you was happy about that. That was an initiation. That was you saying, I'm okay with this. He put me on the back of the Q-Tip album. When you came back out of jail and you didn't do nothing to Bambaataa, and you started making money and accepting gifts and bodyguarding for Bambaataa, that was you being walking through a door. That was you being initiated. Is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be at all times, my G's. But this hip hop museum it's a whole nother way for them to take this culture, this little thing of ours that they run. The higher ups and elites run hip hop. There's no black man that runs any part of hip hop. There's no guy from the Bronx, no hip hop dude, no rapper, no CEO. There's no black man that runs any portion of hip hop. Why you think QC and all them sold the catalog so fast? They will get that 350, $400 million, and they gonna get out the way because we don't run hip hop. The higher ups and the elites, the guys with them little hats, they run hip hop. They own hip hop. They don't just run it, they own it. So when they say they about to put a museum in the Bronx, bro, what you think you gonna happen? You about to stop that? You think you about to protest at City Hall? You bugged out. Now I want to leave. I want to end with this angle right here, and I'm gonna do a video on this because it's just something that got my wheels turning. It's something that got my wheels turning. It's something that got red flags all over the field, and I'm gonna do a pre-recorded video on this situation right here. But I want to just tap the surface with it right now. One thing I noticed about a lot of New York content creators, the male content creators from New York, they all resort into homosexual back and forth with each other. They all, if they start arguing, they say like homosexuals, they throw the slander at each other. SMD, they tell each other the SMD. They say this, they say a lot of homo, I was Zip with the Drip and 10 Toes Down were arguing earlier, and they were saying the most gayest stuff to each other as grown men, man. And I'm really like, when I look at it, I really understand that whatever was going on with Africa Bambaataa and the Zulu Nation, it influenced the whole nation of black men in New York. It's a whole nation of black men in New York that I don't know what's going on with them. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's really going on with them. I don't know. But they all say the wildest thing. Hassan Campbell said he's going to do what he was going to do to Doggy Diamonds. I mean, I don't know, man. It's the weirdest thing, man. But I just feel like Bambaataa created a whole vibe in New York from back in the day that us from the outside, we didn't know about. We didn't know that, a lot of the dudes in New York was so gangster and they were so vicious and savages because they had been getting blowjobs from guys like Bambaataa. We didn't know that. And the more I sit back and I watch now, especially like I said with the YouTubers, like, all the YouTubers from New York, not all of them, but the majority of them, you know what I'm saying? Because 050, I like them, They solid. It's a couple other content creators from out of New York. that I rock with. They solid men. You understand what I'm saying? Because this is grown man business TV. So if you see me in the chat, if you see me, in the chat, or if you see me in the comments, it's because I'm checking for the grown men in the situation. I'm checking for who's standing on their grown man business. And then you get to seeing dudes like 10 Toes Down and Zip with the Drip and Hassan Campbell. And, these dudes get mad at each other and say, you know, they'll say the wildest things, and they'll hide behind that it's disrespectful, but it's all kind of ways to disrespect a man. Why would you tell him to SMD? Why would you tell him to do a sexual favor for you if you're trying to disrespect him? I just don't understand that. It's nasty work, my G's. It's disgusting work, my G's. And these guys will say, man, it's the utmost disrespect. That no, you disrespecting yourself when you tell another man to perform sexual favors on you. You're not only disrespecting him, but you're disrespecting your own manhood. So I just never understood that angle. And I'm gonna do a whole, because you already know how we do have Grown Man Business TV, right? We're gonna get into these clips, we're gonna double back, and we're gonna get deeper into these angles. So I'm gonna do a whole pre-recording on this situation that I'm talking about right now, because I'm going to clip together these guys saying the most homosexual things to each other. I'm going to clip together it's going to be a whole nice long clip of these guys saying the most, the weirdest things to each other as men. And then we're going to talk about that. Somebody needs to explain to me what would make a man tell another man. I just don't understand that. And when I listen to Haas talk about Afica Bambaataa, I really realized that a lot of these guys' daddies was in, back in those days, man, coke was prevalent back in those days, man. You had Griselda Blanca. She was out there in New York City. She was pumping some of the purest cocaine straight into the Bronx, straight into Queens, straight into Harlem. These dudes was getting coked up nice, and they was getting off, and anything could happen at one of these disco parties, B. These dudes would put their bell bottoms on, put those flare, they got the bell bottoms with the flare out at the bottom. They got their chests out with the fox fur all on. And they get the bumping up real fast. And then, Club 51, anything can happen. They had unisex bathrooms. These dudes was doing it all. Is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be, my G's. Listen, man. Salute to everybody that's tapped in. Salute to everybody that'll tap in later on, because the analytics say a lot of people come back and rewatch these lives and these videos. And just know, man, we growing the channel organically. We not going nowhere. We not going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna watch this. I'm gonna watch this situation very thoroughly. When everybody was saying Hassan lost his channel, I didn't say anything about that, because I didn't think he lost his channel. I thought it was something more to it, and I was right about that. They're gonna slow Hassan down. They're gonna slow him down, B, because this museum got to get put up, and it's a lot of money we about to make off this museum, B. And we don't care what you was doing. We don't care what happened to you as getting. They're gonna say, hey, Bambaataa been getting it like that. They're gonna give Bambaataa his. They're gonna give him his awards. They're gonna love Bambaataa when they find out, all the children that he put his hands on, allegedly. That's how they get down with the higher ups and the elites. That's their thing. So it is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be, man. Salute to everybody that's tapped into the channel. Salute to everybody that's invested. You know what I'm saying? We growing organically. We only going up. It's constant elevation at all times. We growing organically, baby. I love it, man. So listen, man, salute. And be on the lookout for these pre-recordings. I got some good ones. Again, I'm about to address you New Yorkers, man. What's up with y'all telling other grown men to perform sexual acts on you, man? That's Rainbow Coalition, man. Nah, that ain't disrespect. That's you wanting another man to put his mouth on. That's what you saying, bro. Is what it